everybody. Welcome back. I am bored. COVID made me bored, and today at the table I am playing Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell, the dice game. Now, I actually really enjoy Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super themed games. I have a few videos and a few card games and sort of filler games that I have that are Dragon Ball themed. And needless to say, if there's a theme that I enjoy or a theme that I sort of grew up with, I'll do it. I'll get it. And you know, this particular board game didn't have great reviews, but there is an enjoyable factor that I have just because it is Dragon Ball Z and it is the Cell, based on the Cell saga, which I also enjoyed a lot. So this is a dice game, very much Yahtzee styled. Rolling, chucking dice, and trying to defeat Cell, power up your characters, mitigate or avoid Cell's attacks, and his plans to defeat you or absorb you into his being, so that he becomes the most powerful fighter on the planet. And just like this, just like the anime series, you are representing Goku and the Z fighters to try to take him down. And in the game, there are, I think, 6 or 7 characters. You've got Goku, and you've got Gohan, you have Vegeta, these are the character boards, you've got Krillin, you've got Piccolo, and you've got Trunks, future Trunks. And you'll see on their character board, they do have, in terms of referencing your dice, it does tell you what you can do with those dice faces. The dice are represented here. And the dice aren't actually too bad. They're good quality. And each character has a health. You'll see Piccolo has 6. Goku is actually the one with the least amount of health, and Trunks has the most health. And you also have a special ability. So for example, with Goku can share any dice, not just assist dice. These are the assist dice. So in terms of the dice faces, while I have the character board here, you'll see that you have this face. When you roll this face, you'll be rolling dice, and you'll be using these dice to either attack Cell or power up your characters by purchasing power-ups, or healing yourself, or healing others, or using the Dragon Balls to make a wish, or if you have a few characters that have died, bringing them back to life. So it's a very straightforward game. It's very simple gameplay. This is not a complicated dice game at all. And to a certain extent, you know, some reviews say it's quite vanilla. But I think for kids, it would be fun because you're chucking dice and you're trying to work together to help each other and try to take down Cell. I think the standard rules that come with this game, it is fairly simple, even though they do have different difficulty settings. But there's a very easy way to quickly change how difficult this game can be and make it a lot more challenging. And I'll explain that after I go through the playthrough. So if you roll a fist, that can, and you assign it to the board, that would be considered 1 damage to Cell. If you roll the open hand, that can be used to pass to another player to help them, or you can use them to power up or to purchase power-up cards, which I'll explain in a minute. And I believe the rules also say that you can use this to heal yourself, which I actually ignore that because there is the Dragon Ball it makes more sense for the Dragon Ball to heal yourself. So if you roll the Dragon Ball, you have a couple things that you can do with it. You can heal yourself, you can heal someone else, you can use it to gain a Dragon Ball token, which I haven't not opened. It is still in its punch board, because ultimately those Dragon Ball tokens, you can either randomly pick up a fist, a double fist, or a Dragon Ball. So instead, I just re-roll the dice if I want to. So if I get this symbol, I can choose to re-roll it, and whatever symbol I get is whatever I can choose to keep. Or I can use it to fill up the Dragon Ball meter, which is on the board, and I'll show that in just a minute. And that helps heal all your whole team, or resurrect anyone that's been killed by Cell. And if you roll a double hand, sort of that Kamehameha look, it's right here, that counts as a double attack. So that's basically, in terms of the dice faces, your options. You'll be choosing up to 4 characters. It's up to 4 players. As I play solo, I usually prefer playing with 2 characters, only because I think it's too challenging just to play as one character, and you kind of lose that whole cooperative sharing or helping aspect if you only play with one, as with many board games that I play solo. So I'm going to take Goku and I'll go with Gohan, his son, and you'll notice Gohan is not the powered up Gohan in this picture, although we do know that once he goes Super Saiyan 2, he is able to clean the floor with Cell. So there you go, that's Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell front cover. It's a dice game for 1 to 4 players, takes about 30 to 45 minutes, ages 14 and up. I think you could easily dial down that age gap to maybe 8 because it's not a complicated game. So here's the board, and you'll see there's Cell with his smirk, that dumb smirk you want to wipe off his face. In terms of tracking health, I don't use the provided Senzu Bean tokens because I don't really need tokens. I just take a simple dice, and I am a health of 5 for Goku and a health of 6 for Gohan. They each get 5 dice that you'll be rolling on your turn, and you would choose who to start first and go in sort of clockwise order. There is a token to keep track of Cell's health. Now, depending on how difficult you want to make it, you can start at his full health, which is 70, or you can start halfway, 35, or scale it however you want, depending on your group. But I'm going to go ahead and start him at 70. This is his health track, and as you're defeating Cell, you will be narrowing down all his health down to 0. And once he is defeated, you have won the game. If Cell knocks out or defeats all the Z fighters, then he wins. If you get through all of his threat cards, which I'm going to show in just a minute, he also wins as well. So in terms of threat cards, Cell has various threat cards, which are represented by the Scouter picture here. I don't know why they use a Scouter, but that's fine. These, at the beginning of the round, there are 3 phases. The first thing is the threat phase, where you deploy 1 threat tile per character that's playing, but you can easily modify that. If you find it too challenging, do 1 less. If you find it too easy, throw out 1 more per player. And these threat tiles, depending on what they are, will either provide an immediate sort of environment effect, or in terms of Cell attacking or Cell healing, those would take place in the 3rd phase, which is when Cell activates. So first you'll distribute the appropriate number of threats onto the board, and I believe it's this way. No, it's this way. And once you've done that, the next will be the players to roll their dice, take their turn, do what they can to mitigate the threats and attack Cell. And then at the 3rd stage, Cell will attack, in which case any threat cards which have not been mitigated will activate. So I'll give you an example. So here's an example where it has the Ki Blast Cannon, which is deal 1 damage to all Z fighters. If by Cell's activation step you have not mitigated this threat, he will do 1 damage to all Z fighters. And the way you can mitigate that threat is by assigning a rolled dice face of the double fist here, or the double hand here, to mitigate. The moment you assign that dice, it is canceled and can be removed. Another example would be Regenerate, and in this case, when Cell activates, he will heal 5 damage, and in order to remove or mitigate this threat tile, you would have to assign 2 double fists. And let's see if I can find one that is not an attack. Okay, so here is a sort of an effect that takes place the moment that the threat is revealed. So you see that open hand, or the assist face, cannot be re-rolled or passed. And in order to mitigate that, you would have to assign the Dragon Ball symbol or a fist symbol and a fist symbol. So there's a couple things to note. There are a few tiles that have different symbols, which would be one. This is an example. So in this situation, it has power cards cannot be purchased. Oh, darn, it ripped a little. Oh, that's too bad. And you'll see there are, the symbol means that any dice face, but because they are linked and they have the square sort of outline, it means they have to be identical. So you have to have 2 fists or 2 assists or 2 Dragon Balls in order to cancel this. When you have something like this, where there's sort of any dice face, but there's no double border, it means any dice face. It doesn't. It could have all 5 of these could be Dragon Ball, all or whatever, or any combination, and that would help cancel the threat. Then you also have these ones, which is sort of a half border, which means that they have to be all different faces. You cannot have 2 of the same dice face to mitigate this. And I believe that is all the types of ways that they're asking you to assign the dice to mitigate. So I'm just going to give these tiles a quick shuffle. And what I'll do is I will set that up so that you can see it. And depending on, what I was saying before, depending on how difficult you want to make the game, you would sort of throw out the number of tiles to sort of customize that difficulty. And the other thing that you have here for the Z Fighters are power-ups. And these will be off to the the right side of the board. The threat tiles will be placed on the left side. And these are your power-ups that you can get as you are progressing through the game. So this is the purchase cost, and this is the ability that you gain. So for example, here's a perfect one, Super Saiyan form. On your turn, you can, if you rolled a dice and it has the assist hand, you can use that to purchase this power up and give it to your character. And moving forward, you will have this either a one-time use ability or a perpetual ability. And here, your open assist rolls can be used as a double attack. And another example here would be the Gaelic Blazer, which is 3 purchase cost of 3 assist face, and you would treat all your fists as double. And this is sort of a non-negotiable. You can't, if you roll a fist, it has to be a double fist. So you can't choose not to do that. So here's another one, which is Masenko. And most of these abilities are fairly, I guess, to the Dragon Ball Z lore. You've got Light Grenade, Super Kamehameha, Senzu Bean, all these different power-ups that you can purchase. Every character can have up to a maximum of 3. Doesn't mean that you can't purchase another one after you have 3. It just means that you have to get rid of one of the ones that you have in order to take that new power-up. So I'll shuffle that, and you'll see that on the character board. And it's out of camera view because these character cards are quite large. But you see they kind of have an awkward cutout at the bottom, and that's because when you do purchase one, you get to line it up quite nicely like that, and you can go up to 3, like I said, and that sort of helps organize your character board. So we'll have to go on over here, and there we go. You also notice here, this is where you'll be assigning your amount of damage, and depending on the player count, so you'll see if you're playing a solo player, you'd just be filling in these yellow sections, and as they're being filled, you would gain the bonus amount that's on the left side. If you have 2-player count, you need to fill both of these slots with a single fist or double attack in order to gain that bonus. If you have 3 characters or 3 or more characters playing, then you would have to fill all 3 before you can gain these bonuses. So these are extra bonus attacks or bonus values that get added as you are filling in this meter. And at the bottom here, you'll see that this is your Dragon Ball meter. And again, if you're playing just solo, you would only need to fill using the Dragon Ball dice that you roll. You would fill up your Dragon Ball if I'm playing a solo player or just one player. And once I do that and I've assigned my Dragon Ball dice face, I could heal myself full, or in this case, well, I'm only playing solo, so I'd heal myself full if I had to. But if you're playing 2 players, you'd have to get an extra one here, and you could wish someone back or heal your whole team full. And if you're playing with 3 or more players, you would have to assign the full 7 Dragon Balls to heal your team or resurrect somebody. And that's basically the gist of the game. It's not very complicated, but it has, again, I think the Dragon Ball theme fits really nicely in this, and it's fun to sort of be those Z Fighters up against Cell. And I really enjoyed the Cell saga. I thought it was one of the better ones just before Majin Buu came out. So what we'll do is we'll first lay out our power-ups, and you would lay out 3. At any given time, you would lay out 3. And to start things off, we will issue the threats. So we're going to put the threat here. So this one is Solar Kamehameha, which is deal 3 damage to all Z fighters. And for this round, we're going to go with 1 threat card per character playing. And oh, this is another one, which is deal 3 damage to all Z fighters. So it doesn't happen right now. These would take effect during Cell's activation, which is the 3rd phase. So right now, I think we will want to focus on trying to mitigate those, because we definitely don't want to take that damage. So we're going to start off with Goku, and his special ability is he can share any dice, not just assists. We're going to roll our dice, and on your turn, you can choose to re-roll. If you're not happy with your results, you can choose to re-roll any number of your dice, but you must sacrifice 1 dice from your pool. So if I wasn't happy with this result and I want to re-roll them, I would have to burn a dice, which is, it's eliminated from this round, and I could re-roll these 4 dice. And you can keep on doing that, but each time you burn a dice in order to hopefully get what you need. I'm happy with this, and I think I will stick with what I have here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this double fist to assign here. And I have a few here that I would like to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 and I can assign it to these threats. Now, when you're assigning your dice to your the threat tiles, if for whatever reason you're unable to complete the mitigation of the threat tile. So let's say Gohan takes his turn and he doesn't want to assign a dice here. At the end of the round, or at the end of that phase and end of cell activation phase, you would normally reclaim all your dice. Any dice that's assigned to a non-canceled threat, or a threat card that hasn't been canceled, it stays there. So effectively, you could potentially lose dice. So you do need to work together as a team. You don't want to have one of your players stuck with no dice. And for this one, I'm going to assign this double fist to here to do a 2 attack to Cell, and hopefully Gohan can assign 1 so that we can get that bonus. So that ends Goku's turn, and now it will be Gohan's turn. And that's a pretty good roll. I think I'll keep that. So we'll see we have the open hand, which we are going to assign here. So the moment we assign here, we have now effectively canceled this threat tile, so it will not take effect when Cell activates. I could technically remove this from the board, but just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to leave it here. And Gohan still has a few, so he's going to assign this one, and we will cancel this threat because we have fulfilled the requirements there. And I will put the double attack here and a double attack here. So the first thing we'll do is, let's tally up what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the bonus 5, 6, 7. We don't get the bonus, the 2 bonus here, because we haven't fulfilled this second slot here for a two-player game. So in total, we have 7. So we would be taking Cell's health down to here, so 63. And now it would be Cell's turn to activate, and any threat tiles that have not been canceled, that are still on the board, would take effect in terms of healing or damage. Anything that's sort of an environment would have already taken place. So we're good here. We can now reclaim. We have canceled these threat tiles, and we're going to move them off to the side because they are no longer in play. And like I said, once you go through this stack of threat tiles, if you go through all of it, the game rules say the Z fighters lose. So you are sort of on a time crunch. So we'll reclaim all our dice because we've assigned all the attack values. And now we begin another round, in which case we will reveal new threats. And we'll see here he gets to regenerate at the end or during his activation. And we have a immediately active ongoing effect, which is power-up cards cannot be purchased. So right now I can't purchase any of those power-up cards. So I think I want to try to take care of that. So Goku's going to go first again. And we've got a few options here. So we have 2 Dragon Balls, which I think I'm going to use it I'm going to use this because I need 2 dice that are matching, and I'm locking these in. So now this effectively cancels this threat, so now I can purchase power-ups, and I'm going to. So I'm going to take this single open hand. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'll show you something else. So instead of using this, what I can do is I can do an assist, and I can give this to Gohan to use during his turn. So I'm going to help him out. So he'll have a total of 6 dice to roll. And I'm going to assign my last 2 here to give Cell some damage. So now it's Gohan's turn. Okay, so not a bad roll here. I don't think I need to reroll. Gohan does have a special ability. He gets 1 free reroll per turn, and you can reroll any number of dice. And I think I'm going to reroll the 2 Dragon Balls because I don't really need them. Although in this situation, I can use this in the game. I'd be using this to pick up a random Dragon Ball token, but the way I play it is instead of using those tokens, I can just re-roll this and take whatever result I get. So I might do that. So I'm gonna re-roll this dice and I get an open hand, and I'm gonna re-roll this one and I get another open hand. So what I think we'll do is we will use these 2 to purchase, no, I'll use 1 to purchase Destructo Disc. Now, one of the things that is sort of a criticism in terms of the theme is that Destructo Disc, for example, if I was playing Vegeta and Trunks, neither of those characters can do Destructo Disc. Goku can. I'm not sure if Gohan can, but I know Goku can. And Krillin, for sure, he can, because that's his signature move. But here I'm purchasing it for Gohan, which thematically doesn't really make sense. And what's even worse is if you look at Vegeta's character card, here it says he starts with the Kamehameha upgrade, which makes no sense because that's not what he does. So I'm not sure who designed this game and how big of a Dragon Ball Z fan they were. Now, I am not a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan. I enjoyed the anime. I enjoyed the Dragon Ball Z series. I watched most of Dragon Ball Super. I just enjoy the anime itself, but I don't know all the history of every character, and you know, if you quizzed me on certain things, I'd fail like miserably. But I do know that certain things, like, you know, what Vegeta can do, he definitely can't do the Kamehameha. So, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. So here I'm going to be purchasing the Destructo Disc. An easy house rule, if you want to make things a bit more challenging, is to say you can only purchase the power-ups that can be used or is applicable to the character. So here, if I'm Gohan, I can't use Destructo Disc. I could use Mimicry, and I think he can do Masenko because I think that's a Piccolo move, and Gohan was trained by Piccolo. So you could do that as well as a house rule, but in this case, I'm going to purchase this one. I don't think you can see it, but I'm putting it with my character board. So now I have a few dice left. I could get one more power up if I wanted to. I might as well, but what I want to do here is I want to try to see if I can mitigate these up here, which I don't think I can, and I should have paid closer attention because I needed that Dragon Ball. So you know what? I'm going to go back in time, and before I roll that, let's just say I kept that Dragon Ball. So here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. So Gohan has 1 fist left. I know I kind of cheated there. And let's repopulate that power-up tile, and it's a Super Kamehameha, which is actually a really good one. I like this one a lot. And that ends the round. So now we take a look, and we're going to apply any damage. So we get the bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Cell takes another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we activate Cell, or he activates and attacks. We have canceled both of these threat tiles, so he doesn't heal, and that's it. So we're going to get rid of these. And we're going to reclaim our dice. And now 2 new threats come out. Cell is immune to damage bonuses, which are these ones. It's a solar flare. and telekinesis, which is deal 1 damage to all Z fighters. So we're going to go ahead with Goku again and start that up. Oops. Okay, so and sorry, I also forgot, with Goku he can share any dice face. He does not have to share the open hand one, the open hand assist. So let's see, what can we do here? He's immune to damage bonus, so I want to mitigate that, and I have to assign 3 dice of different face values, which I will do. Although I really would like to get the Super Kamehameha. So you know what? I will do this. So I'll assign this, and I'll assign this one here. And I'm going to use these 2 to purchase Super Kamehameha, which goes with Goku very well. And that's it. And now it's Gohan's turn to roll. Let's refill that power up. And Gohan's going to re-roll using his ability, and we'll keep the Dragon Ball, but we're going to re-roll the open hands here. That one flew right off. We'll take it anyways. Okay. So we're going to re-roll this dice. I should have kept that one open hand. Sorry I missed that, but I'm not going to go back. I get another fist. Okay. So we're kind of in a, we had an oversight, which was over here and over here. So this is a perfect example of a little bit of trouble for next round. So what we're going to do here is we're going to assign all his fists, because there's nothing else that Gohan can do. And that's it. So right now, because this threat tile at the top, Cell is immune to damage bonus, hasn't been dealt with, we don't get any of these bonuses. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to 53. And Cell is going to activate, which is he deals 1 damage to all Z fighters. So Goku's going to be down to a health of 4, and Gohan will be down to 5. So that ends the round, and now we collect our dice. However, because these threat tiles were not canceled and incomplete, Goku cannot take his dice back. So he's down to just 2 dice, but Gohan gets to take all his dice back. Okay, and now we start our next round. So here we would actually reveal another 2 threat tiles. So here we have something that takes effect immediately, which is fists cannot be re-rolled or passed, and deal 2 damage to all Z fighters when Cell activates. So it'll be a total of 3 damage unless we can mitigate. So if you are unable to manage your threat tiles, it can build up very quickly and you can quickly lose the game. So it's good, especially it works a lot better when you have more players, to have more dice to mitigate those threats. Okay, so that's Gohan, oh sorry, that's Goku's roll, and we're gonna do, oh, let's see, we'll do this one. We're gonna put this one down here, and we will use this one. I'm not too concerned about that one, so I will put this one down for a double hit. And that's it. So Gohan's gonna go. And this one, not too bad. I think we can do that. Okay, yeah, this will work. So I'm gonna use this one to cancel the deal one damage. I'm gonna use the 2 fists here. No, I'm gonna use this open hand to cancel. He's immune to damage bonus. And I can't deal with that one down there. I can do a reroll. So I'm gonna take these 2 and I'm gonna re-roll them to hopefully get the open hand. I didn't. Oh darn. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So let's put this one here for now, and we're gonna do that. Now, because we've canceled the immunity, or sorry, we've canceled Solar Flare, we get the damage boosting here. So it'll be 4, 5, another 5 damage to Cell. Cell activates. So this has been canceled, this has been canceled. Fist cannot be re-rolled or passed, but now we get 2 damage to all Z fighters. So Goku is now down to 2, and Gohan is down to 3. So now we reclaim dice for the threat cards that have been canceled, which would be this one. We'll take these back. And this one. So at least Goku gets a few of his back. So we'll just move these up. Death Saucer is still active for the next round. And we pull out another 2 threat cards, which is deal 1, damage to Z Fighters, eye lasers, and energy field. Open hand cannot be re-rolled or passed. Okay, Goku's gonna go first. Oh, I really want that open hand. Okay, so let's hope that Gohan gets it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Goku's Super Kamehameha ability, and it says here we have to assign 2 open hand or 2 double attack fist face die to get a total of 8 damage, which I think is totally worth it. So we'll put it down here, and that's what we're assigning to, and it'll give, when we assign damage, we will do 8 damage to Cell, and we will also, let's try to do this as a full out attack here. So we'll do this. We'll put it here. Okay, Gohan's turn. He needs an open hand. Yes, perfect. Okay, so what we want to do is we're gonna definitely cancel this one, and I do want to do a reroll. So let's try to do a reroll here of the open hand, and I get another fist, which doesn't really matter to me, but that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll do this. So this is going to be quite a bit of damage. So we're going to get, let's see, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. So what is that? Which way am I going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17. So he's down to 31 health. So we're halfway there. So now Cell activates, and this is okay. This is perpetual. This has been canceled. He deals 1 damage to all Z fighters, which now Goku is now down to 1 health. Where's the 1? Here it is. And Gohan is down to 2. Okay, so this one has been canceled. So we're going to take back the dice here. I'm going to take this back. We're going to move these up. And now the threat comes out. So we have 1, and we're running out of space. So we'll put the other one over here if you can see it. So we've got Kamehameha, which we know Cell can do. It deals 2 damage, so in total it'll be 3 damage, and he's going to heal 3 as well on his activation. So we're going to try to hopefully mitigate some of that. So here we go. We're going to roll for Goku, and there's a couple things I think I want to do here. We have a problem here because we cannot pass. We can't share those assists, so that kind of really sucks. I'm going to take this one to mitigate that, and I'm going to use the 2 open hands that I have. Since I cannot pass them, I'm going to purchase Mimicry, which means I can re-roll any number of dice. So now I have that ability, but the problem is I can't re-roll this. So that kind of sucks right now for me. Maybe it was better that I assigned this here and the fist to cancel energy field, but we're going to take 3 damage on the next turn, and that means Goku will be dead. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so because I canceled that, I can re-roll this dice, and I get a double fist, which I'm okay with. Let's do the double fist to do some damage, and now it's Gohan's roll. Okay, now Gohan can re-roll. He can't re-roll his fists because of that one, but he can re-roll the open hand. We have a Dragon Ball here, and we're going to use this one to cancel that one. We're going to spend these 2 fists to cancel Kamehameha, and we have these 2 left, which I can re-roll this one, so I'm going to re-roll this open hand. Actually, I forgot to pull out the power-up. See what we have. It's destructive just again. So Gohan's going to re-roll this dice, and he gets another fist, which we'll do here and here. Okay. Okay, so we've canceled these 3 tiles. He takes a total of 5 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is down to 26. And these are canceled. So Cell is going to heal 3. 1, 2, 3. And these are all canceled. So we will take back and reclaim the dice here. We'll move this down. And we get our dice back. Okay, so we were lucky on that one, and now we reveal new threat tiles. So Dragon Balls cannot be re-rolled or passed. That's his power-up, and Destructo Disc, which we know he can do too, because that's what Cell does, and that deal 2 damage to all Z fighters. Okay. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's go with Goku. And because of Mimicry, I have 1 additional re-roll of any number of dice, which I think I want to do. I just can't re-roll this one. And that's okay, because I'm going to use that to heal myself. So I'm going to... Let's just re-roll and see how far we go. Let's re-roll all of these. Okay, so, not great. Okay, so we're going to use this one to fill up some of these because I really don't want to take any damage. I'm going to use this fist to put here. I'm going to use 1 Dragon Ball to heal Goku 1, so he's up to 2. And I'm going to use the other one to heal Gohan, so he's up to 3. Because, well, what dad wouldn't do that? Okay, Gohan, your turn. Let's go. Okay, so Gohan can't re-roll, but he can use the 2 Dragon Balls for tokens if we wanted to. We can re-roll these 2 open hands, which we think we will. Let's re-roll those open hands and maybe this fist as well. Yeah, let's re-roll these 3. Okay, another Dragon Ball. Okay, so I think I'm not re-rolling these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a random token, but instead I'm just going to re-roll these 2. This one I'm going to keep. These 2 I have to keep. So let's roll these 2 and see what I get. Okay, I get 2 open handers, which again doesn't really do me much. But you know what? Let's make the most of it here. So unfortunately, I cannot get rid of this heal 3 damage. So we will assign 1. We're going to use this one to heal Goku to 3. We're going to use these 3 to cancel power up. And that's it. The problem here is I didn't take care of this, so maybe I want to do that instead. Sorry. So I'm going to do this one. So that will take care of Destructo Disc. Okay, so Cell takes 1 damage, but then he's going to heal 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to slowly climb his way up. We get rid of Destructo Disc because we have canceled that. And this one hasn't been dealt with, so they stay here, and we now do 2 additional tiles. Solar Flare. Cell is immune to damage bonus and deal 1 damage. It's a rapid fire. Okay, so let's go with Goku. Come on. Okay, here we go. So I can re-roll. I'm going to re-roll those 2. I'm going to assign these 2 for my Super Kamehameha, which I really want to do. And let's do this one. Okay, I get a fist. I'd really like to focus on some serious damage here. So let's try that. Let's go here and here, and then Gohan's turn. Oh, I forgot to use his ability, Destructo Disc. Oh well. So he can do a reroll, which I think he's going to reroll all of it. We'll keep 1 fist. Let's reroll all of this. Okay, so there we go. So he's immune to bonus damage, or damage bonuses. So let's go with taking care of that first. We'll sacrifice the 1 damage. So let's go and take care of this one, assigning 2 different dice face. Okay, and then we're gonna, so now we do get the bonuses, and we're gonna try to accumulate quite a bit here. So we haven't taken care of this one, so he's gonna heal 3 again. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the Super Kamehameha, which is another 8. That's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So he's down to 15, but then he heals 3. 1, 2, 3. And we all take 1 damage. So they're both at 2. And now Solar Flare has been canceled. We don't have a lot of threat tiles left. We reclaim our dice. Goku can't reclaim that one yet. We'll move this one down here. And now we draw out another 2. So we're not managing well. He's going to heal 5 this time. And now your double hand results cannot be rerolled or passed. So this is getting harder and harder. Okay, so we've got this one, we've got this one. I can do 1 reroll. I think I may reroll this. So I'm going to reroll this one. And it's another open hand. So I can pass this one because it doesn't prevent me. So I'm going to give this dice to Gohan. I'm going to use these 2 for my Super Kamehameha. And I'm going to put that one there. Or you know what? I'm going to put this one here to cancel the heal 3 damage. Okay, now Gohan's turn. Okay, we got quite a bit here, but I'm not sure if this is going to help us. I think we will use these 3. I have an open hand, which I can re-roll this one, and I will re-roll this one. I get another fist. So these 3 fists, I'm going to use this to cancel his regenerate. So both his regenerates are done. And I am now going to put this, this, and this here. I'm hoping that's a good damage. So now let's count up the damage. We have 5, 6. That's 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He is down to 4. But then Cell attacks and activates, and we each take 1 damage. So both Gohan and Goku are down to 1 health. So we've canceled these 2. So this one I'll take off the board. This one I take off the board. Okay. And I reclaim these ones. Okay. Another 2 come out. Regenerate. He's going to heal 3 and deal 1 damage to all Z fighters. Okay. Let's go with Goku. And let's see what we can do here. I can re-roll these 2. I cannot re-roll these ones. And I think I'll do that. I will re-roll these, or I can pass one. I will pass 1 to Gohan, and I'm going to re-roll this one. I'm hoping, I was hoping for a double fist. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we're going to cancel this one. We're only 4 away. I think there's a... I think we'll be good, right? Yeah, let's just do it. We're gonna assign this and this, and we'll pass this to Gohan. Actually, no, let's cancel this one. Okay, there we go. Okay, Gohan's gonna roll his dice, and he can do a re-roll, and we are allowed to re-roll all our open hands, which I will do. I cannot re-roll the fists, but all the open hands I can re-roll. And oh, there we go. Perfect. So I'm going to assign this Dragon Ball here. I'm going to assign a fist over here. I have an open hand, which I really can't do anything with it right now. So I'll just leave that off to the side. Now, in the rule book, you can use an open hand to heal yourself, but I kind of ignore that because it doesn't really make any sense. Dragon Ball makes sense, but not the open hand. And now we're just going to assign a lot of attack values. I could use these to mitigate some of these tiles, but we don't need to because now we sum up the damage. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 damage, which is more than enough. We have defeated Cell. So there you go. Now in the rulebook, it doesn't specifically state whether or not you have to wait till the end of Cell activation before you sort of declare win-loss conditions, but it doesn't make sense because I've gone well beyond his final health.
So even if he were to heal 3 more, it wouldn't make a difference. So there you go. Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell, a dice checking game which has a Dragon Ball theme to it. And as you can see, it's a very straightforward game. It's not complicated at all. You've got, you've got a bit of tile management. You want to try to manage the threats, try to use your dice to purchase your power-ups, and you can easily see that if you had more players, it would make it more interesting to at least have more help and cooperation to mitigate the tiles, because you can have certain characters focus on attacking while other characters are focused on mitigating the threats. So in this situation, it might have been a little bit too much to have 1 tile per character. Maybe it was just 1 tile for the 2. So each time the threat cards come out, it's just 1 to help manage the amount that comes out here. And I had about 2 tiles left, so I was very close to losing this game. And on top of that, if you want to make this more difficult, because I think one of the things is that because Cell activates at the end, you could easily just focus on mitigating all the threats and he would never, and slowly chip away at his health. And I think that's the sort of maybe the Achilles heel to this game, which is you can just slowly chip away at his health by mitigating and focusing only on the threats, and you'll be fine. You will eventually win the game. If you really want to mix it up, I find that if you reverse the order, so what would happen is instead of Cell activating at the end, you would toss out threat cards at the end, and you would activate Cell right from step 1. So the very first thing that happens is he activates. So at the beginning, he wouldn't have any threats. There would be no threat cards. But let's just say, Cell activates. First step. No threats, nothing happens. Z fighters do their turn, maybe do some damage to Cell, pick up a couple power-ups, and then the third phase, threat tiles come out. Threat tile. And threat tile. Okay? And then you go back to step 1, Cell activates. So right away he deals 1 damage, he heals 3. And then the players do their turn. So just by reversing that order, that sequence, would actually make this a lot more difficult, because you don't even have an opportunity to deal with the threats yet, not until your actual turn, and the threats have already activated. The ones that are healing and damage, doing damage. The ones that are more perpetual, they activate right away in terms of environment, where you can't re-roll or you can't pass certain dice. That would stay in play. That would stay in terms of its effect. So doing that as a house rule could easily up the challenge. I've tried that, and it does make a big difference, to the point where when I play with 2 characters, I only want 1 threat tile out one at a time. So multiple ways that you can make this game a little bit more interesting, but in terms of the Dragon Ball theme, I think it goes really well with this game, and I think that it is enjoyable, especially if you're playing with kids and they just enjoy rolling dice and trying to help each other out, and you want to assist your friend by giving them a few assist dice so that they have more dice to roll in their round, or maybe you want to sort of strategize and say who's going to look after the threat tiles and who's going to work on doing attacks and getting power-ups. So, and even Krillin has a great ability, which is you can purchase upgrades for 1 less cost, and you can give them to other players. That's an awesome ability. So he's a real team player, and I think that's really, really helpful, as well as Goku, where he can share any dice, not just assist dice. So hope you enjoyed it. That's Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell, the dice game, published by IDW Games, and I think it's a fun dice chucking Dragon Ball themed game. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, stay bored.